Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, brought to you by BetDSI, and I'm your host, Mitchell Renz. Interact with me on Instagram and Twitter at MitchellRenz365. I see y'all in the comments right now, absolutely blowing it up, and I say I appreciate it. So I'm going to get into my Raiders NFL Draft mailbag. I wanted to make this one a little bit more NFL Drafts specialty? That's a weird way to say it. Whatever. Taryn Shoemaker, you hit me up on IG, so I'm going to throw you in the show, my man. Are there any players you would hate to see the Raiders draft and why? This is a really good question, and hopefully this guy's mom doesn't see this or else my DMs are going to get even more blown up. And I'm thinking that the Raiders need to avoid Rashan Gary. And here's the thing, okay? I get that Gary is probably going to test very well at the Combine, and I get that he was the number one defensive prospect coming out of high school, but I'm sick and tired of hearing and saying that Rashan Gary has such a high upside. At the end of the day, if you don't show me the production on the field, what else does it matter? In 2018, he had 38 tackles, 6.5 tackles for a loss, 3.5 sacks, 0 forced fumbles. For a player of Rashan Gary's caliber, that's not getting it done. And then I'm going to look at his career stats. 119 tackles, 23 tackles for a loss, 9.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble. I do not want Rashan Gary on the Oakland Raiders because guess what? If they're going to take him, it's probably going to be at pick 4. So if I see any more people telling me that Rashan Gary is going to go to the Raiders at 4, I'm going to absolutely go bananas. And in fact, how do you spell bananas? Am I the only one that sings that song? B-A-N-A-N-A-S? Yeah? Brett's doing the dance. All right, let's get serious. Give me an NFL draft bust, okay? I'm going to give you Rashan Gary. That's the one player I'm going to say. I'm also going to say Daniel Jones is a quarterback I want nothing to do with. But the show isn't about me. Comment below. Give me an NFL draft bust. My next draft mailbag question is coming in from Raider Empire. Shout out to you. Which Brown will be a Raider in 2019? Antonio Brown or Hollywood Brown? And, well, if you watch my rumors, I gave Antonio Brown coming to the Raiders only one chuck he had. So is Marquise Brown going to be a Raider? Well, I said this one about 2 weeks ago. People are talking, and here's the thing. Mike Mayock wants speed. Not the you-know-what kind of speed, but like wants speed on the field. And I get that size is a major concern for Brown. I mean, he's 160 pounds. He's small. That's 10 pounds less than me. But the dude can absolutely fly down the football field. And if Mayock wants a field stretcher, he's going to get one in Marquise Hollywood Brown. And if he wants to add talent around Derek Carr, go out and get yourself Marquise Hollywood Brown. Now, here are my top 5 wide receivers in the 2019 class. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside out of Stanford. Interesting name. Kelvin Harmon. But then I think there's a little bit of a teardrop. I like Marquise Brown a lot as a definite field stretcher. N'Keal Harry, really solid wide receiver. And then DK McMuscles. I don't even know what you want to call him. If anybody's seen that picture, just so you know, that's what I'm striving to be at the gym the entire year, is to look kind of like DK Metcalf. All right, who's the best wide receiver, though, in the 2019 draft? You guys are always asking me, which wide receiver should we take? What should we do? Should we take one in the first round? Well, I want to know from you. Who's the best wide receiver in the draft? Comment below, and if you want to hit me up on Twitter or IG at MitchellRenz365, give me your top 5, and I'll share it on my social media. All right, Cato, what you got for me? Josh Allen or Nick Bosa? Or trade back, that's what I say. All right, so originally in my rumors, I said that I think the Raiders are going to trade back, and I'll stick to it. But let's get a little bit of debate going here, right? Because I know there's a split between Nick Bosa and there's a split between Josh Allen. So here's Nick Bosa's draft profile. Now, Tom Downey has him as the top prospect in this year's class, and I agree with him. I project him to be the number 1 pick. I understand that y'all are worried about his injury history, but the upside with Nick Bosa is legit. And I understand you guys get mad at me for comparing him to his brother. But guess what? It's a really good comparison. But now let's look at Josh Allen, okay? I'm starting to fall in love with Josh Allen more and more every time I watch him. And let's be real. The dude improved tremendously this season. And anytime a player can improve, I think that's a trait that not enough people talk about. And he's a freak athlete, I think, with a lot of upside. And he's a little thin right now. But put him in an NFL workout regimen, and he puts on like another 20 pounds of muscle, this dude is going to be special. Now, I project him to be the number 2 pick. So I got Bosa at 1, Josh Allen at 2. But I want to know from everybody watching, Josh Allen or Nick Bosa? I want you to type A for Allen or type B for Bosa. Okay? I'm looking down in the comments right now. What do I got here? What do I got? I got a whole bunch of Josh Allen from John. I got a B from Oscar. I got an A from Oscar. I think you just typed in both of those, Oscar. I don't think that's fair. Michael's saying A and B. All right, guys, y'all are crazy. Let me know, Allen or Bosa. Hit me up on Twitter, IG, at MitchellRens365. And also, make sure you guys use that hashtag Raiders to get on the show, okay? Want a question? Hashtag Raiders. All right, next mailbag question is coming from Lil Joe. Why do they call you that, Joe? I say we should build our defense through the draft and the O-line and wide receiver and free agency. Now, for Chucky me. I think if I for Chucky'd somebody, I don't even know what that means. What does for Chucky mean? Nah, I'm just kidding. But I like this idea actually a little bit. I like being able to build the O-line through the draft, but also wide receiver in the free agency. Heck, why not we go out and get Golden Tate? Just talked about Golden Tate. Give me a wide receiver that the Raiders should target in free agency. Maybe this thing makes me so happy. I got my own promo code now. Raiders120. That's so sick. Shout out to BetDSI for hooking us up with the best promo code on the internet. Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Anybody that signs up with BetDSI and uses my promo code Raiders120, I'm hooking you up with some free Raiders gifts. You want a jersey? I got you. You want a coat? Your boy, I got you. Sign up a deposit and then DM me on Twitter at MitchellRens365. Show me the sign-in. Show me that you signed up. Send me the screenshot, and I'm going to hook you guys up. Shout out to BetDSI for hooking us up here at Chat Sports. Promo code Raiders120. All right, Sons of Al, my man. Now, Sons of Al, if nobody knows Sons of Al, this dude leads the league in submitted questions. It's actually, I'm actually concerned that your fingers might hurt. All right, hashtag Raiders. Thanks for using the hashtag. Mayock and Gruden era finds a franchise player within rounds 3 to 7 of this year's NFL draft. The player that I'm going to really look at and be in rounds 3 to 7, personally, I'd be surprised. I shouldn't say surprised. I think he's going to be a draft or round 2 kind of guy, but if he can fall to round 3 with Kareem Hunt now being a Brown, a running back that I really want the Raiders to target is Darrell Henderson out of Memphis. And the dude is a great athlete. And if you get time, go watch his highlight film. And when I say go watch his highlight film, you might think that every single game that this guy's played in is a highlight film. Think about this. 8.9 yards per carry the last 2 seasons. All right? That's on 344 carries. Now, I get that it's not a Power 5 school. But this kid is super freakish, and he's going to blow up the NFL Combine. I can't wait to watch him. And if maybe the Raiders can get him there at pick 66, all I'm saying is he has a chance to emerge as the best running back for the Raiders because Jalen Richard, don't know if he's coming in. I don't know what's going to happen with Marshawn Lynch, and I don't necessarily know what's going on with Doug Martin. They're all free agents. Insert Henderson, and we've seen young rookie running backs be able to just kick ass right away. I'm just saying, I like me some Henderson. But name a 2019 draft sleeper. I want you to comment below. It doesn't have to be on offense. It can be on defense. I want to know from everybody watching. Give me a draft sleeper. All right, Jennifer, what you got for me, homegirl? If Kyler Murray falls to the Raiders' second-round pick, should they take him? Sure. The only issue is I think Kyler Murray is going to be a top 15 pick. So the fact that I don't see him getting out of the first round, unfortunately, Jennifer, I like the question about Kyler. I just don't see Kyler getting really out of the top 15 picks now that he's committed to football. But luckily, gonna back you up here. Machiavelli Raider, don't tell your wife you're backing up Jennifer. Now that Murray has chosen football over baseball, what are the odds the Raiders draft him? Well, Machiavelli, if you want to bet on it, go to chatsports.com/bet. You can actually bet on it. But in terms of him being a Raider, I gave this one on my rumor show, only one Chucky head, small shred of truth, because here's the thing. I get that he committed to football, which I'm happy that he did. And I think all players of any sport should take a note of what Kyler did. Follow your heart, even if people tell you that you're absolutely crazy, okay? Now, I understand there's a lot of rumors around that the Raiders are going to draft him, and I understand John Gruden likes his game, okay? But again, here's the thing. Our NFL analyst here, Tom Downey, said the Oakland Raiders are going to be the 5th team that could potentially take Kyler Murray. 5 out of the top 8. And when I just look at some of the other teams, there's a lot of quarterback-needed teams. The Raiders aren't one of them. And I'm so sick and tired of having to tell people that the Raiders need a quarterback or are going to trade for a quarterback. Like, they have Derek Carr, who I like, and I think potentially they could trade back because there are going to be a lot of teams that will be interested in Kyler Murray. And as I stated before, I think there's 8 teams, okay? 8 teams that could trade for Kyler Murray. You have the Chargers, or 8 teams that could draft Kyler Murray, my bad. Chargers, Broncos, Jags, Raiders sitting there at 5, okay? Raiders are number 5 out of this list of 8. And then it's the Giants. I mean, Eli Manning's washed. The Dolphins, Ryan Tannehill, he's not the answer. The Bengals, I think they move on from Andy Dalton. To be honest, though, I think they're going to go out and grab Ryan Tannehill. And then the Washington Redskins. I think, unfortunately, Alex Smith's career is over, which is really frustrating because I don't think Alex Smith gets near amount of love. But then again, we did make a Alex Smith video go viral. So that was pretty cool. Shout out to Chat Sports. All right, King Isaiah, what's up, brother? I know you always subscribe, always submit questions, and I appreciate it. Hashtag Raiders. How sold are you on DK Metcalf? Because I am sold for Chucky heads. And believe it, baby, right? Like, I love DK, and it's hard to not to. And if you get a chance, look up DK right now on Google because it's absolutely insane. This guy's he's just chiseled. It's pretty incredible, actually. But he's my top wide receiver in the 2019 draft. And when you look at his size and athletic measurables, like, I seriously think that he has the upside to be one of the best receivers in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying right away, but 3 years down the road, I think, has the upside to be the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I don't want to say that I see a little bit of glimmer of Julio Jones in him, but I think it's there. Like, the upside is actually there. Now, here are my top wide receivers in the 2019 draft. As you can see, DK sitting down there at number 1 spot. Then you got N'Keal Harry, Marquise Brown, who I've talked about before, Kelvin Harmon, and then J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. All right. Now, before I get into my next one from Arkham Raider, I want you guys to use hashtag Raiders to get the questions on air, okay? So, doing mailbag, then I'm going to do some more questions and answers with everybody commenting below. I appreciate it. We got 275 people watching right now on YouTube. Much, much appreciated. So, again, use hashtag Raiders. Get your question on air. I'm watching. I'm seeing. Lisa Legg says DK Metcalf equals Julio Jones. Lisa, I also saw your comment. You're not going to be on the show, unfortunately, but if you're single, I do need a Valentine's Day date. All right, Arkham Raider, hashtag Raiders. What do you think of my mock draft 1.0? He's got trade back for the Jags to get Cleveland Ferrell, and then at number 24 is Mack Wilson at middle linebacker, and then Nasir Adderley or Montez Sweat. Well, I think Montez Sweat's not going to make it to 27, and I think Nasir Adderley has a higher chance. Also, you spelled his name wrong, at being at pick 27. So, I did a nice little player card for you here, my man. And shout out to Arkham. So, what do you guys think of his mock draft, okay? Like, I'm going to be releasing a mock draft here very soon on this channel, so sit tight on that. But trading back at number 4 with the Jags and get Cleveland Ferrell, okay? And then 24 is Mack Wilson, and then number 7 is Nasir Adderley. Now, this is an interesting, I think, mock draft because at the end of the day, Cleveland Ferrell is a realistic option there. And I think if Cleveland was in another draft class, he'd be regarded as one of the better players. It's just, unfortunately, he's just kind of weighted down with all these amazing defensive players. But you know that I love Mack Wilson. He's my number 2 linebacker. And then Nasir Adderley. Again, another really talented safety out of Delaware who, sure, it's a small school, but watch Nasir play. The dude is really, really special. And I look at all Marcus Gilchrist. I don't see him coming back. I look at Reggie Nelson. I don't see him coming back. And then, you know, you're just looking at what the Raiders could potentially add. Eric Harris really stepped up, but Nasir, I think, could be a potential player there at 27 that we look back on and think really, really good. All right, so this is the mock draft. This show isn't about me. Let's grade his mock draft, all right? So it's Cleveland Ferrell there at 7, Mack Wilson at 24, and then Nasir Adderley at 27. So, again, if they trade back with the Jags, that's why it's number 7 and not 4, okay? So 7 with the Jags is Ferrell, Mack Wilson at 24, and then Nasir Adderley at pick 27. I want you to grade that mock draft. I'm looking down. I'm seeing some B's from Eric. Daniel Miller's giving it a C. Inspiring Munoz, my man, giving it a B. Caleb Packhurst is an A. Stacy Clark, A. Jimmy's giving it a D. Jimmy, I'll give you a D. Ah, I'm kidding. All right, Max Sermon, B. Chris Rodriguez, everybody watching on YouTube, Facebook, comment below A, B, C, D, or F. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.